Next, we're going to go to core network slicing, and Henrik Basilier will be leading this part. Henrik?
Thank you, Michael. So now we heard AJ talk a little bit about the RAN part, and as you sort of heard there, on the RAN side, it's to a very high degree about managing resources efficiently because they're scarce and limited, but if you look at when we turn to look at the core network, although the overall drivers and objectives are the same, we're all creating the end-to-end slices. You see that a different picture or a different sort of focus in the core network. On the core network side, we have already to a very high degree in the networks sort of virtualized the networks building on top of NFV and so on. And I mean the resources there are basically server resources that are that we can manage more easily. So on the core network side, it's to a very high degree about building logical isolation by taking advantage of NFV and really starting to use and benefit from that. To make that work, though, to when you have multiple slices serving different business purposes, you need to leverage mechanisms in the network to allow you to direct different devices and users into the right slices to keep track of who is allowed to do what and so on. And when we look at those mechanisms, on the left side here you see the EPC sort of things, the 4G era, and there we have a set of mechanisms already since before the term network slicing was coined that can be used to realize network slicing. There's been concepts of having multiple PLM and IDs for HS. There's a concept called APN, access point name, that can be used to logically partition the core. The SPID parameter that AJ mentioned, there's also a standard called DCore in the EPC area that we can use already in the 4G EPC regime of things, although it wasn't really called network slicing when it was created. When we move into 5G and there is a new core network standard called 5G core that extends those capabilities. You can still do very much the same thing, but the standards have put more thought into it to make it more scalable, more flexible. So what we get there with 5G is a more powerful framework to steer traffic and control the slicing.